everybody. I hope everybody's having a good weekend. Please smash that like button on your way in. Let everybody know that we are live. I'll give some shout outs here. Hello, TK Sass, K Mitch, Marie Burks. Hello, good morning, good morning. Deborah Van Winkle, BNN. Hello, hello. Muffin Top. Cindy, hello, my darling. Betty Smith, Corey H. Hello, hello. So did you guys all get to see the Dateline show last night? I know there's some that are in the UK that were not able to get the special. Hello, Capel. Hope everybody's weekend is off to a good start. So what I want to do before we start on the Dateline thing, you guys, is give you a rundown of what happened in court. A few things to show you, and then we will get into the Dateline episode. That'll give a chance for everybody to get in. Also, Leslie, hello. Pepsi Girl, Sherry, Tanya, Nana, Corey H, Sandra Miller, hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Okay, so what I'm going to show you guys first is, let me just share my screen here. So this was court the other, 2 days ago when Barry was in court on the 24th in Fremont County. Now, there's a lot that happened there. Some things I'm not too happy about. It just seems that this whole case seems to be going Barry's way. But I'm still confident that the prosecution has enough. I know it's not looking good right now. And with these Dateline things and everything else that are coming out that are not painting Suzanne in a great light, it's really irritating to me. Hello, Beachy D. Lorna, Summer Dawn, hello, everybody. Okay, so yeah, we will go over it, Beachy Dawn, because I know there's a lot of people that could not see it. I think you would have been really disappointed. I thought at the beginning it was starting out good, but we'll get into that. Let me just get through this little bit that I've got to tell you about what happened in court with Barry. As you guys all know, hello, Betty. Oh, wait till you see this, Betty. And how these daughters show up to court in snow. I want you to watch their footwear. Let me get into that, but I forget what I was about to say now. No, prosecution is not. There's a lot of crap that's going around, you guys. That's why I say I don't allow anything in my chat that is just rumor, gossip, things made up. We have not heard a thing, Muffin Top, about a shirt or the DA waiting for that. That's another rumor. Yeah, we're going to get into that, Dana. Just let me get through this first. Okay, so here is Barry and the daughters leaving court. I want you to pay attention. Like, look at all the snow. Sorry for the cough, you guys. Look at all the snow. Look at their footwear. No coats on. And I'm irked by some of this. Let's just watch it first, and then I'll go back and I'll show you what's irked me. Look at their footwear. 6-inch heels, no socks, middle of winter, laughing away. It's disgusting. Like, look at both their footwear. And then watch Mallory. how she pushes by Macy. It's like, I'm queen bitch. Okay? So we're going to watch it again. I've got it on a loop. Okay, so here you can see they're arm in arm. But Macy is hanging on to Daddy's hand like she is wifey. I don't know. But yeah, you see that? The 6-inch heels in the snow. Oh, yeah. Mallory definitely is acting, and she pushes on him as if to say, go that way. And I see a lot of that from Mallory. So let's continue here. They're laughing and joking around, and it's just, to me, disgusting. Like I said, look at this. Look at the 6-inch heels these girls have. No socks. She's carrying her coat. This one, Mallory, has no coat at all. This is like a sweater thing for like spring. Woohoo! Like, yay! Oh, it's disgusting. See, look at this, how Barry's pulling her along and she's holding Daddy's hand like she's wifey or something. I don't know. But watch what Mallory does here. Instead of just letting Daddy go ahead and whatever, she puts her hand on his back and like kind of pushes him. And then kind of Macy steps back as if Queen Bee here has to be one to go first. Watch. See this? Look at the heels. And the way she's swinging her arms. And see, like, Macy's in front here. Like, but watch what Mallory does. It's like, I'm the queen. Watch. Right? Like, you stop and let me go by. It's like, to me, you guys, I don't know. Maybe I'm just being very picky. But to me, it's like, are you kidding me? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, they're wanting to be something, I don't know, but they are disgusting. Disgusting. Yeah, I noticed that. And some of the other times that you see them, she's always like got her hand on his back and directing him. Yeah. No, I'm not joking, Betty. It's like, it does. It looks like they're dressed to go to a club. Not a court hearing for their mother who is still missing. Their father accused of her murder. It is disgusting. Yeah, and it's almost like, oh. Yep. I agree, Beachy. And they do have stilettos on, Betty. Putting on a show for sure. Oh, and I think it's only going to get worse. Like, they're going to be famous for all the wrong reasons. Like, it's sickening, you guys. It is sickening. Like, they want to project that they have class by at dressing the way that you're showing you have zero class. I do think too that they think he's going to be found innocent. And I know, you guys, that there is a lot going on right now. I've said it at the beginning. The defense is trying to throw anything out there to see what is going to stick. And so far, there's been a lot of things sticking in their favor. But there's more that has come out. I'm just trying to adjust my armrest here, you guys. Give me a second. Okay, there we go. Yeah, like how can they do that to their mother? Yeah, all they care about is the money. Okay, so let's recap what's happened a couple days ago in court. Yeah, the prosecution showed up half an hour late. Let me just get into it, Betty. So the right information and the validated information is out there. Okay, so the prosecution has said there's another motions hearing that's going to be coming up in March in Fremont County. It's going to be discuss what will be allowed during the trial, which is scheduled to start for April 28th. Now, April 28th, they're going to start the jury process. Apparently, the judge is sending out only 1,000 jury summonses. Now, when they're sent out, people got to fill them out and bring them back in. Out of that 1,000, they may get like a couple hundred that are suitable to be brought in to be questioned to see if they're suitable for jury, right? So that will be starting on April 28th. All these people will be summoned to show up at court for April 28th, and they will start the jury selection. 1,000 people. So, I mean, I don't think that's a lot. Yes, please smash that like button, you guys. Let everybody know that we are live. It helps me not only get up there in the algorithm to show everybody that we're live, because a lot of people don't get the notifications. It also helps with me not having to repeat a lot of information that I'm telling you. So please just pop out of chat, hit that like button, and then pop in back into chat, and make sure you have live chat selected at the top so you don't miss anything. Karen, if you don't like what's being discussed here, we have our own opinions, but to call me petty and immature, you can go away. I'm speaking the truth. If you can't handle the truth, then maybe this isn't for you. True crime definitely is not for you if you can't handle some truths. So thank you, Summer, for being on top of that. And I have hidden her from the channel. I don't need that here. I am very fair. Exactly. And I mean, it's pretty clear to see. And yeah, Karen Holland, how about Suzanne? Why don't you stop worrying about what we're saying about what the daughters are projecting? It's clear and for everybody to see. Why don't you stop doing that and start thinking about Suzanne and how this is looking towards their father being accused of murdering their mother. Okay, how about the way that they're portraying their mother and the respect and everything that they are not showing their mother? Okay, go somewhere else. Thank you, Summer. Right? Good morning, Journey to Justice. Elizabeth. Some more shout outs here. Jack. BGD. Kate. Hello, hello. Karen Holland. Hello. Lisa. Hello. Sorry if I don't get to you. Muffin Top. Hello. Rosie. Good morning, my dear. DJ. Hello. Taboo. Hello. Exactly, Kim. Thank you. Yeah, Suzanne is the victim. So just anybody that wants to be like that, mods, just get rid of their comments. If they want to continue, just get rid of them. Hide them from the channel. So, okay, so let's see what else. So the defense is saying that, hello, Daz, there's my sister. And let's stay on topic, you guys. Let's leave our personal lives and our personal things going on. Leave that alone in the chat today, please. Let's stick, this is about Suzanne. Let's stick on topic about Suzanne. I know we all have a lot going on in our lives, in our personal lives and everything else, but let's stay on topic, please, in the chat regarding what we're talking about. I just want this to be all about Suzanne and nothing more. I mean, I think she deserves that. Hello, Kay Amari. Yeah, we're going to get into it. I just want to get through what happened in court, and then we're going to jump right into it. Exactly. Hello, my 3 rosebuds. I love the name. Okay, so the defense has also said that they believe the prosecution are going to call officer after officer after officer after officer testifying about the prosecutor's theory about the case. In regards to the 3 DNA CODIS matches from Suzanne Morphew's Range Rover glove box, prosecutor Mark Hulbert has said it doesn't have the weight it did and that it had in August during the prelim. He said an investigation has ruled them out, but the DNA is still pending at the lab. So in other words, he's saying that, you know, I think they're going to come back with that DNA could have been put there at any point in time and by anybody. It's partial matches. It could have been from anything, from when the Range Rover went in for repairs, from the previous owner. It could have been from anything or anyone, okay? So the defense is saying the prosecutors have not complied with deadlines imposed by the judge for several months, and like a detailed witness list explaining what type of experts the witness is and their qualifications. They're saying it's not okay that Barry Morphew's rights are being violated by the conduct in the courtroom. That's what Iris Eaton is saying. And the defense attorneys are still pushing for the case to be dismissed altogether. Judge Lama has not issued any sanctions on the prosecution yet. But Barry Morphew's defense talked a lot about concerns they have of improper use of a witness and witnesses by the prosecution. The judge ruled any profiling or victimology will be excluded at trial. The prosecution can use a witness as an observation witness as well as an expert. But the judge has ruled out any profiling or victimology. It's all going to be excluded, which is, wow. Sorry, you guys, I have a partial plate on the bottom, and I'm just getting used to it. So if you hear it, a little bit of lisping, please don't come at me. I'm trying to get used to it. Okay, so the next hearing is going to be on March 4th. 7 law enforcement officers have been subpoenaed for that day. The credibility of a former CBI agent who worked on the Suzanne Morphew case will likely be discussed. And like I said, 1,000 jury summons have been put out, and the trial will begin on April 28th. Aw, hello, Doug. Nice to see you. Love you too, my friend. If you guys are not subscribed to No Thanks Investigates, go on over there and check out his channel. He's got a lot of great stuff over there. Go check him out. Thanks, Doug, for popping in. Nice to see you. Sorry I haven't been able to pop in on you a lot, and thank you for your super sticker. I really, really appreciate that. So there's just a lot being said. A lot are commenting on the holding of daddy's hands. Some are calling him a creep. Like there's one comment here. There they are holding hands with this creep again, and I've yet to hear them make one single statement about their murdered mother. And that was a comment made by Athena Asher on Twitter. Another one by Victoria Dunes says, the daughters sure look happy. They need to practice more walking in their stiletto heels, however. So there's a lot of backlash that are coming towards these daughters for the happy-go-lucky, as if, you know, their mom was walking behind them or something, you know. So there you go. Some love for Doug there. Thank you. And yes, thank you for your kind donation, Doug. I appreciate it. And like I said, if you haven't checked him out, go on over there and check him out. He's has no filter. Like he says, just like I do, what's on his mind, and really tries to stick to facts. He tries to throw in a little bit of humor there to keep things, you know, light. Another one, Lisa Matheson is saying, I'm still shocked that the daughters can't see right through him, knowing all the details that we know. So there's a lot of people making some comments there. There's a lot of GIFs, GIFs, whatever that is. Other people are saying, if my dad killed my mom, I wouldn't be holding his hand, just saying. Others are saying, but still these girls and their father haven't had a news conference to plead with Suzanne's return home or information leading to her being found dead or alive. He's no different than any other killer. How do you sleep at night, sir? So, I mean, there's a lot of backlash, a lot. And I mean, I've got to say that I'm right there with them. So H377 Suzanne went through. I wonder why she stayed, and the girls knew she left them. It was so sad. Yeah, exactly. I do believe that they have, and I believe that their dad has said it's all bull crap. And I mean, you can even look at what he said. The contradictions and the red flags that fly up just interviewing this man. Like, I'm sorry. They're young and they're dumb. They're trying to portray that they are smart women, but come on, go back and look at the interviews that your dad's done and how his stories have changed over time, and his lack thereof of concern for somebody that he said is the love of his life, willing to put up $100,000 for her safe return. He put that up because he knew he would never have to pay it out. Yeah, and I do believe that Barry is focusing on that affair. So, which brings us into last night. Okay, Dateline NBC had an episode come out called Echoes in the Canyon, the Suzanne Morphew saga, okay? So when it first started, you guys, they were going over Barry and what had happened, and him saying he was chasing chipmunks because they have this GPS tracking and this and that. He's saying that he's chasing chipmunks, that he tranquilized her. I mean, they were bringing out a lot of the good information, which was fine with me. But then I feel like things took a turn. They brought up the fingerprints in Suzanne Morphew's car that they say matched an offender from 3 different states, that not an offender. It matched up with 3 other cases that are unsolved. for, I believe it was SA or assaults or something like that, sexual assaults, whatever. But what they failed to say that it was a partial match. So this is where I find they started bringing out stuff that more or less was trying to sway everybody into Barry Morphew's side. It's like, yeah, they found these fingerprints, and those fingerprints match 3 other unknown or unsolved cases of assaults. But what they failed to say is this was a used vehicle that was bought, and that it was only partial matches. They failed to mention other things that could have gave some reasonable doubt to that. I feel like from this point on, they really tended to focus on how it could be something else other than Barry. Like they went through all the photos of Barry emptying out the garbage, the 5 garbage runs. At the beginning, they're saying, you know, his wife, he leaves. Apparently his wife is still alive, but we know that she wasn't. And on the way to Denver, he stops at 5 different places to dump garbage. How odd is that? The prosecutor that was on there, a former prosecutor, said, you know, 1 or 2, okay, but 5 different ones, no way. Especially after what just happened at the house, right? So they were kind of boasting it up like this guy, like this is odd, this is a red flag. But then they turn around nearing the end and say, well, you know what? He was a landscaper, so this really isn't odd at all that he would stop at 5 different places. They show him coming in and out of the motel with different stuff in his hands and stuff like that. But then even at the motel, he parks and he takes a bunch of stuff in bags and everything. It looked like clothing, and walks up. He parks at one end of the parking lot and walks all the way to the other end of the parking lot at the motel and disposes of more stuff in the dumpster there. The constant change of clothing, even though he did no work that day. He did no work, but he changed 3 times. Also, at the beginning, they said that when Jeff Puckett had gone into the motel room, that there were things that were destroyed in there, and there was a lot of wet towels, and it smelled like chlorine. And then at the end, they bring up, but his room was above the pool, blah, blah, blah. Well, number one, yes, the pool wasn't allowed to be used because of COVID. So what's with all the wet towels? And why would there be all kinds of wet towels there if he slept all night, got ready in the morning to leave, and went to fucking Denver? Like, come on. Why is there wet towels there? Why would he need a shower? Right? And these other things that were left behind, like the insurance papers, nothing was mentioned about that. And in the end, even though they brought up, okay, the room is above the pool, so maybe you do smell some chlorine from the pool, but that doesn't explain why there was a bunch of wet towels there. The pool wasn't open. It was COVID. The pool was closed. What were all the wet towels for? What was he cleaning up? It seems to me that they bring out these things and then they explain it away for the defense. And then at the end, even though at the beginning they say, yeah, that's odd that he would make 5 different runs, and then once getting at the motel, you know he has clothes and bags of stuff in it. What's in these bags? That didn't look like garbage to me. It looked pretty heavy. And garbage would have been thrown out of the last 5 dumps. Yeah, and he said he took a shower before he left. So what are these wet towels there for? The pool was closed due to COVID. And why are you going to a job site when things are shut down? Because this was right at the beginning of the pandemic. Everything was shut down. There was a stay-at-home order. I looked it up, and there was a stay-at-home order. Okay? What's with these wet towels? Okay? Diane, that I don't know about that. We're not discussing that right now, please. Or sorry, taboo. We're not discussing the Delphi. We're trying to stay. This is about Suzanne today. I'm not going anywhere else. I don't want to talk about personal stuff. I don't want to talk. This is all about Suzanne today, please. There's enough out there with the NBC and the other one that came out that, you know, this is about a missing woman. No, it's not. It's about defending Barry. So I want to keep this all about Suzanne today. So with them trying to explain away all this stuff of what was found in that motel room and the chlorine, I'm going to explain away them. What were those wet towels there for? If you're going to bring it up and you're going to do some kind of reporting on what has happened and about evidence that is there and everything, do it properly. Stop explaining it away for somebody who's standing accused of murder. No. Why were the wet towels there? You want to explain it away that his room was above a pool? I want you to explain why there was wet towels there. He showered before he left home. There was no reason for him to have to shower when he got to this motel room. He didn't do any work. There was no work done, so he didn't get dirty. Why did he change 3 times? They didn't mention that. And why is there wet towels there? And the wet towels smelled like bleach. So why? Explain that away. Never mind trying to explain away for Barry why things and evidence that the prosecution is going to use, explaining that away in Barry Morphew's favor. Let's explain it for Suzanne. These guys are peeing me off. Sorry. BNN, it wasn't that the town didn't just allow that. They had no idea that he was even going to be there. There was nothing submitted to them saying that he was going to, because he didn't do a good job. So they said it needs to be redone. He never gave them notice that he was even going to be back there at that time to redo the wall, let alone that they are not allowed to work on Sundays. Now, why wasn't that put in there? It's all stuff they kind of threw in there at the beginning as if they were all, it was all going to be about poor Suzanne, just for them to come back at the end and explain away the prosecution's evidence in Barry Morphew's favor. Well, I'm here to rebuke that. And now I want NBC to tell me why those towels were there. If you can explain it away to protect Barry and to try and knock what the prosecution has, I want to know why you left stuff out regarding those things. You brought up the towels being wet. You explained it away by the smell of chlorine being because his room was above the pool. You did not explain why there would be wet towels there. Explain it. Explain why this guy was there to do a job and said that he was working in the afternoon when he didn't leave that motel room all afternoon. He was in the motel room, lied about being at the job that afternoon when he did not leave that motel room. There's security cameras that prove that. And why are those towels wet? Explain that, NBC. Dateline. If you can't fit everything into one segment, then do a few of them and make sure you're fair when you're doing it. To me, this is more victim shaming. Then they're saying at the beginning how everything that Barry did, blah, 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 all pointed to him doing something to his wife. The broken door, the dart, the tranquilizer dart, the gun shell, non-spent gun shell casing in the bedroom. Like I said, the broken door, stuff like that. Texts and everything saying that she was done. She wanted out of the marriage, accusing him of cheating and this and that. They bring up the spy pen, that she bought this spy pen. And again, turning it right back on Suzanne. The only thing it caught was her affair. And then they started with the affair that Suzanne was having. If you're going to bring up the affair that Suzanne was having, NBC, why don't you bring up all the things about Barry? Okay, she didn't catch a lot of things on the spy pen, but what she did catch on that spy pen was him listening to a Forensic Files show where the topic that on that show, that specific episode of Forensic Files, is a woman that goes missing on a bike ride. They didn't bring that up, but they brought up Suzanne's affair. They did bring up the Ashley Madison and these other things that Barry was doing, but then it's like, so she accused him of having an affair, or thought of him having an affair. He was caught before having an affair. That's why they moved from Indiana to Colorado. Number one, because that's where one of her daughters was going to college. And number two, to get away from, she thought that if she got him away from everybody he knew in Indiana, it would be a fresh start and he wouldn't do this womanizing that he'd been doing. So they're painting it, this is why she's gone missing, because she's having an affair. She talked about trying to find a job in Ecuador. So giving people reasonable doubt that she just left on her own. And this is why she did it, because of this affair. No, she was murdered because she was leaving a relationship and Barry did not want her having one dime of that money. He wanted it all to himself. And nobody leaves Barry Morphew. Why didn't you bring that up, NBC, Dateline? Why didn't you bring that up? And being that there's certain things now that Suzanne said to her best friend that she was in fear for her life and everything else are not allowed in at the trial? What? It's hearsay. She said it to her friend. Well, yeah, because she's not here to say it for herself. Why? Because Barry murdered her. Right? So there's a lot of things here. And then the GPS, when it was said that the prosecution thinks that that's when he was chasing Suzanne, and it all lines up with timeline and everything. Who gets off of work, apparent work, on the 9th, sees his wife sunbathing and decides to go out and start shooting chipmunks. What if a bullet went stray and shot your wife? You wouldn't do that with your wife out there sunbathing. You wouldn't be shooting around your wife because the bullet may stray and hit her. Come on. He wasn't out there shooting chipmunks. He was out there chasing Suzanne. But they're making it sound like he was out there chasing chipmunks because they were a problem. No, his wife was the problem in his eyes because she wanted a divorce. And that's why I think Macy and her boyfriend broke up. Because he spoke about something that he shouldn't have spoke about when he said that they had marital problems and they had spoke about separating. He ratted Macy out. So that's why I think they broke up. Yeah, where's all these chipmunks that you shot? Where are they? Produce one. And then, I went looking for this, what was it? Not a goose, a turkey that Mallory shot a week ago. I went looking for the carcass of it. Why would you want to go looking for a carcass of an animal that's been laying there dead for over a week? The animals would have ripped it apart, as per you, Barry. With all the blood and everything from that dead animal, don't you think the mountain lions would have got it, Barry? Why are you going looking for it? No. You were spying on Suzanne again, just like you did when she had Sheila at the house before. So basically, to me, what NBC Dateline has projected is, this is why it all happened to her, because of her affair. Really? No, it couldn't have been that 2 days prior she told Barry she wanted out. She was done. She wanted out. Didn't want to be alone with him. Didn't want to do anything with him anymore. She was done. Point blank done. Couldn't have been that. No, it had to have been the affair. You dumbasses. If that was the case, that she was going to leave because she's having an affair, they said she had an affair for 2 years. If she was going to leave to be with this other guy, she would have done it long before her murder. it would have been done. Dumbasses. So you're going to go searching for a turkey that your daughter shot. I've got my own feelings, you guys, on this. About the oldest daughter. How much she really does know. Matt Blunt, I agree. Where'd that go? I agree. To me, yes. Yeah, he was dumping all the dead chipmunks. Yeah, where I would like to see one of these chipmunks. And do you ever see how fast those little critters move and they're close to the ground? Would you be out there shooting chipmunks when your wife is laying there sunbathing? It could hit a rock and ricochet back and hit her. Like, no. Like, they are trying to make, to me, it felt like this whole episode at the end was trying to discredit what the prosecution has. And I believe, yes, let's look at all the evidence. And if the evidence is going to show, or if there's so much reasonable doubt that that is not a possibility, that's okay. But to put a narrative out there on live TV where millions of people watch your show and try to direct a narrative that has not been proven or disproven is reckless. It's shameful and it's reckless. Yeah, and where are all the shells from shooting at these chipmunks? I believe that they did a little bit of a setup at the beginning and then came back to victim shame Suzanne. It's all her fault. This is her fault because she had an affair. And oh, Barry didn't know about the affair. So it takes away anything that Barry didn't kill her because he didn't know about it. How do you know that? He stole her phone before. He had access to her journal. Don't tell me he didn't know. Right? Don't tell me he didn't know about that affair. That's exactly why I think he killed her. Number one, I think he went looking for, I think he's seen something on her phone. Because obviously he started adding a bunch of people or sending out friend requests to a bunch of guys for a reason. Look at, she's having affairs everywhere. I believe he did find out that she was having an affair. So to make it look bad, because Suzanne, think about this. Suzanne and Jeff were very secretive about it. None of her friends knew. They were going on different platforms, so it wasn't found out. I believe Barry did find out. That's why he went on her Facebook and started adding all these, sending out friend requests to all these men. Makes sense, right? Oh my God, I found out they hid it really well. They talked on LinkedIn and over other platforms that, you know, they could hide it. So when he finds out about it, oh my God, I got to make it look like she's a real player in better terms. I'm going to send out friend requests to all these guys, and that's just going to back up the theory about she was seeing a bunch of different men, and this will be passed off maybe on one of them when I kill her. Right? Like, this is sad. Like, I picked up so much on this, you guys. And it's like the conniving things that he did to hide what he did are red flags themselves. Huge. Just 1 second, you guys. Okay, sorry about that, you guys. I believe it was, they were all sent out on the 9th. Was the 8th or the 9th? I won't give you an exact date, but I believe she was killed the night of the 9th when he came home. She was sunbathing. I think she was killed not long after that. I think she was dead by like 8 p.m. I think she was dead. So it was either that night or it had to have been that night. Flyer B, exactly. Like even at the end, they explained away his dumpster runs. Oh, he's a landscaper. He would have had tons of junk in his truck. So that explains away, maybe a dumpster was too full, so he went on to the next one. No, you dumbass. Didn't you look or watch the what they have on video where he's pushing the garbage down in some of the bins? He goes to big, huge dumpsters where he could have put his whole truck in there if he wanted to. Could have put himself in there if he wanted to. Too bad he didn't. But huge dumpsters where he could have put all of it in. He didn't. And he kind of he parked away from the dumpsters. So at the end, when they basically explain away his dumpster runs, like what are you, oh, you guys, I've got to really watch my mouth because some of the choice words I would like to use right now are not very good. But they try and explain away for Barry and the defense team all the dumpster runs. Oh, he was a landscaper. That's normal for them to stop at all these different places. Maybe he had so much junk in his truck. Well, if he had that much junk in his truck that the first one by the bus station, yes, it was a smaller garbage can. I get it. Throw some in there. The next one, yeah, I can't see him being able to put a lot in that one either. But the next one he goes to, the third one, is a huge dumpster. And then he goes to 2 more. Don't tell me that everything that left in that truck, including the bed of the truck, could have been thrown in that dumpster. Why did he go to 2 more trash cans and then go in and out of the motel room, changing clothes, throwing clothes and bags of stuff into the dumpster, the big dumpster at the motel, where he parks at one end of the motel, walks all the way past the entrance to the motel, the Holiday Inn, walks past the entrance down to the other end of the parking lot to throw more stuff in another huge dumpster. And he changed 3 times. But he didn't do any work. Why? Yeah, and there was one at the end of the road, that huge community dumpster at the end of his driveway that he could have thrown everything in. But they're trying to explain it away for Barry. Oh, he was a landscaper. At first we said 1 or 2 dump runs, trash stopping. Who stops as you're going down a highway towards Denver? You pull off where a bus pulls off. Who pulls off on a highway just to dump some trash on your way to Denver? Not once, not twice, 3, 4, 5 times. No. He changed 3 times. Yes, muffin top. Thank you. It's called getting rid of evidence. Right? Leave your wife early on a Sunday morning, on a day you cannot even work, to get set up for the next day. If you were just going to go there to get set up for the next day, you would have left after your dinner and everything on Mother's Day. And did you guys also notice in the video that AK put out of the house, when the police bring him back in the house, there's no Mother's Day card. There's no flowers. There's no nothing for Mother's Day. Why? Because they knew she would not be alive for Mother's Day. Not even from the girls. Girls are going to go on a camping trip. Don't you think they would have gave some flowers and cards and this and that to their mom before they left for Mother's Day? Absolutely not. Not a thing to show that there was, that this was even around Mother's Day. I believe he said that there could have been some dart gun material that he threw away. And on top of that, you guys, a pair of khaki shorts that he had been wearing the day before, okay, when he came home and Suzanne was suntanning, those khaki shorts were washed. They were in the dryer. And that's where they also found the dart gun cap, was in the dryer. Those khaki shorts that he had on the 8th, or the 9th, when they got him coming home on the 9th with the bobcat and everything, on the 9th, when he came home and Suzanne was sunbathing, he had khaki shorts on. He also stated that he never did laundry, didn't know how to work the machine. Cover up, cover up, cover up. Because I believe Suzanne was already dead. And he had to wash his clothing. Those khaki shorts must have meant something to him. And where would he have put the dart gun cap? In the khaki shorts that he was wearing, right? Those khaki shorts were found in the dryer. The other clothes that he had on, maybe his socks, but the shirt that he had on wasn't found. Just the shorts. And that's probably where he would have put the dart gun cap. They also said that the dart gun that they received from Barry handed it to them through his truck window. Cop and him were side by side, and he reached out through his window. Here you go. Here's my dart gun. The police said that it could be that it wasn't even operable. Well, who said that's the dart gun that he used? He said that he was shooting things, that he wanted to tranquilize something. Where's the dart gun that he was going to use to tranquilize them elks? That, remember when he turned left where her helmet was found? Well, I went to see what they were doing over there. Well, where's the dart gun that you had been using? Because they said the dart gun that he handed over looked like it hadn't been used in a long time. So where's the dart gun, Barry, that you, even in your interviews, said that you had been using on that property to shoot elk or moose or whatever they are that come on your property there? Where's that one? There's one missing. Same as there's still a missing phone. I don't think he even used the dart gun. I think he jabbed her with it himself. Yeah, and even the way that bedroom was left with the pillows on the floor, with the bedding off, where he said that Suzanne would have done that and washed the sheets and everything because the kids were coming home with a friend. Suzanne Morphew was OCD. Suzanne would never have thrown those pillows on the floor. They would have been in that. There's a nice lazy boy type chair that's also there. They would have either been put on the chair or on the bed. But the blanket, the comforter, and the pillows were all thrown on the floor. Suzanne wouldn't have done that. She's OCD. I'm OCD. When I strip my bed, I've got like 6 pillows on my bed. They go on the table that I have in my room. I've got a little table under my window there that in the summer I'll put plants and stuff on. My pillow and blankets would have been on that table, not on the floor. Because then they would have all had to been washed too. And why weren't the pillowcases washed? The pillowcases are still on the pillow. If somebody slept in the sheets, they also put their head on the pillowcases. Why are the pillowcases still on the pillows? Why weren't the pillowcases washed too? Suzanne would have done that. You see what I catch? And that's from my years of working with private investigators and stuff. I watch for stuff like this. She was OCD clean. Those pillows would not have been on the floor, number 1. Number 2, why are the pillowcases left on the pillows? If you're saying that Suzanne would have changed that bedding because somebody had slept in it. Well, they also put their head on the pillow, so Suzanne would have washed the pillowcases too. But they're still on the pillows that are now on the floor. Yeah, he didn't need a gun for the tranquilizer. Exactly. There's so many things that Suzanne would not have done. The sheets would not have been washed with his dirty shorts from work. The pillowcases would have been washed with the sheets. You don't wash just the sheets. People put their head on the pillow too. She would have washed the pillowcases too. Like, I wish I had a direct line to the prosecution sometimes, I'm telling you. Okay, let's stay on point, please. We're not talking about the Watts case or anything like that. We're talking about, I want to keep this directly on Suzanne. I'm going to give her that. Where everybody else that's like Dateline and the other TV thing that put this out there, they took the focus off Suzanne. I'm focusing on Suzanne. Let's not talk about anybody else but Suzanne. Please. I want to do this today for Suzanne. Not for Barry, not for the girls, for Suzanne. These datelines and everything else that are almost like trying to take away focus on things that are important and change narratives. I'm bringing that narrative back. Yes, his room was above a pool, but that still doesn't explain why there was wet towels there. Why? Why? Not how, not who, why? Everything you look at in a case, you guys, and I'm going to tell you this from cases I've worked on personally, doesn't matter in the beginning about the who, the what, the where. You got to focus on why. Why is that there? Then you branch out to who could have put that there, where it was, but it comes back to why. Why is that there? That's what has to be answered. Same with the bike helmet. When they found the bike helmet, why is that bike helmet there? Then you branch out who was in that area, where it was, how it could be put there. Okay, you guys, I've got an Amazon at the door. Give me a second. Give me 1 second, guys. It always comes to why. With answering the why, you answer a lot of the other questions. Sorry about that, you guys. So yeah, so the way you go about it is first you gotta ask why. Why is that there? Why would it be there? Why would somebody put it there if it was just put there? Why? Then you will find you got to branch out to how. How did it get there? Who could have put it there? Where it is. Where it is now coincides with Barry turning left. Right? Now, why? Just a second, you guys. Sorry. Sorry about that, you guys. He forgot another package, so see him coming up the stairs this time. So that's what I look at. It's like, okay, you got something that you're looking at. You answered, to yourself, why? Why is that there? Okay, Suzanne went missing, apparently. Barry said apparently she went for a bike ride. Okay, so why is this helmet here? Whose is it? They pick it up, Suzanne Morphew's. How did it get there? And who put it there? Where it is? Who, what, where, when, and why? When was it put there? Had to have been put there because Suzanne's name was in there. Barry's contact information was in there. When was it put there? Right? There's a lot of aspects to it, but I always start with why. Why would it be there? Why would it be there? When her bike is the other way. Who would have been where that helmet is? If you've got a suspect, can you put that suspect in that area where the helmet was found, whose helmet it was, and why would it be put there? Okay? I hope you guys can try. I'm trying to explain it the best way I can. But it's always why. Why is that there? Right? Did he forget to throw the helmet when he threw the bike? Dana says, and I say, why to what she slept in. Barry didn't point out was because she didn't sleep in that bed. It's another big thing that I've been asking all along is, okay, she would have been wearing biking shorts, is what he said, right? When he left, she was in bed sleeping. He heard her snoring. She would have worn biking shorts, right? Okay, so wait a minute. If she would have been wearing biking shorts, where's the bathing suit and where's her pajamas? Because on top of the laundry, where her pajamas or bathing suit should have been her bathing suit because she would have taken that off to put her pajamas on. She would have taken her pajamas off to put her biking stuff on. So the pajamas should have been right on top. They weren't. The first thing that they picked up on top was a sports bra and biking clothes, biking shorts. What? What? Where's her pajamas that she slept in the night before? That's what he said, but then he slipped up. He said she did have pajamas on. Like, you got to go through that affidavit word by word. He did say she had pajamas on. I'm just going through, don't mind me, you guys, I'm just going through some of these comments. I don't know if they swabbed there, but I mean, a lot of that, if her DNA is on Barry, like, I mean, DNA, I'm not talking about the nail scratches. The nail scratches to me are big, and how he tried to hide them. Okay. Because during the day of the 9th, he was wearing short sleeve shirts. But the next day on the 10th, he was wearing long sleeve shirts. Why? Yeah, I wonder who was sleeping in there too, because the girls have been gone for days. So if she was one to, like he said, she always washes the sheets, they would have been washed already days prior because the girls have been gone since the 5th. She would have had them washed as soon as the girls left, not when they were coming home. So he messed up there too. I do believe it's all going to be coming out at the trial, Betty. And I hope that they do watch a lot of our lives. We aren't qualified as they are, or they're supposed to be. But I think that there's a lot of things that people who are serious about this case have caught that they have to take a look at. Can it be used in some way, shape, or form to prove something in their case? So I do hope that they do watch our lives, where we go over what we think, because we're looking outside the box where they may not. They're focused like on certain aspects, DNA, this, that. They're focused. Sometimes you got to unfocus a bit to see the whole big picture. And then, does that apply? How can that apply to what we have? Does that apply to what we have? Does that give us another avenue that we can look at? Could it have happened that way? Does it make more sense that it happened that way? It opens up your thought process. Okay? Because when you're working a murder case like this, you're focused. Sometimes you need those people from the outside that aren't so focused on certain aspects that you're trying to pound home, to see outside of the box how those little things do bolster what you have in circumstantial evidence. I'm not going to say that a person on the outside can see more than an insider, because they've got a lot more that we haven't seen. But what I am saying is they are focusing on how they've learned how to deal with certain aspects of a case, and they focus on that. And that's why sometimes we used to joke about it a lot when we had a rookie come in. Take a look at this. What do you see? And sometimes they've come out with stuff that it's like, oh my God, why didn't I think of that? That is the missing link that we needed. And we didn't think about it because we were so focused on what's sitting in front of our face and what is exactly there, that we didn't see that outside piece that says, look at this, because that's what put that there, or that's what did that mark. Look what I found. You guys overlooked it. Things can, and I mean, I'm not saying that they're not doing a good job, but what I'm saying is you've got to take it from all areas that you can get it from, because sometimes you get tunnel vision when you're looking at a piece of evidence, and you can feel it in your gut that something, you're missing something, but you can't put your finger on it. And it's one person, like somebody, one of you in my chat, that could say something that sparks them. Oh my gosh, that's the missing piece. We as outsiders could think, that doesn't really matter. But that could be the missing piece that they were looking for to connect the dots, right? Give me a minute, you guys, please. Well, that was rude. Phone's ringing and I answer and then they hang up. Nice. Okay. Yes, you do have to find, but that's one part of it. That's motive. Okay. You got to find a motive. Why? We're back to why. Why would Suzanne have to be killed? Why? What are the motives? I think there's quite a few motives here. You can't just have tunnel vision and focus on one thing. But yes, the money was a big motivator. I don't think I think they are very scared. If you want my honest opinion, they're getting their way on a lot of things, but I do think that they are very scared. I do think that they know if this goes to trial, that's why they're going at the prosecution with everything they have. They're not doing this, they're not doing that. Brady violations, this, that, look at this, look at that. This one did that. This one. The reason they're doing that is they're trying to get this case thrown out because they know if it goes to trial, he's going to be found guilty. They're trying to get, number one, as much thrown out as they can, and they're throwing things out to see what will stick. The more that they can get thrown out that cannot be used in the trial, the better chance they stand of maybe getting a lesser charge. I do believe that they know he will be found guilty. I think Linda Stanley, after what she pulled, is trying to stay out of the public eye right now. I don't think Suzanne had a malicious bone in her body or vindictive. She just wanted out. Let's do this civilly. You go your way, I go mine. Let's split up the money. We're, the way it should be split up, and you go your way, I go mine. Nobody leaves Barry, number one. And Barry's not giving up half of the money. And it would be a lot more than half because she would be entitled back to every penny of her inheritance, which was 200 and something thousand from when her mom died, and then 200 and something thousand from, I believe it was her grandmother that passed or somebody. I don't think Suzanne was out to sink him. She just wanted out civilly. I don't think she had a vindictive bone in her body. She just wanted out. She wanted to be on her own. She wanted the marriage to be done. Okay, let's not bring up other cases, please, you guys. We're talking about Suzanne here. And my chat is flying. Hang on. I'm just going through your comments, you guys. Yeah, and I just find it weird that they're not mentioning their mother at all. They're not doing anything for their mother. They're not pleading for her return. They're not pleading for her to be found. They're not doing any pleading at all. Thank you, Rosie. Yeah, no intruder would have taken her journal. Okay. And he had to get rid of that journal because in that journal was everything that she had been going through and writing about. And I believe that he read that journal and she might have slipped up and put something about Jeff Libler in there. No, And even if an intruder would have taken the only thing missing in the house, nothing else was out of place. Nobody went in there. There was a bunch of files that were also burnt. What were those files? Were there agreements there that if they ever did split, that Suzanne got this, got that, whatever? But her journal, where she wrote her most deepest thoughts and feelings, was burnt. Because that would have been able to be used in court. He had to get rid of any evidence that she was on the outs with them. And at first, Barry was portraying, we had a great marriage, nothing wrong, nothing wrong. Why'd you lie, Barry? Like, these are things, why aren't they speaking about? Barry, you said there was nothing wrong with your marriage. You guys were so much in love, blah, 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 blah. No. Suzanne, Sheila brought it out, her sister brought it out, and so did Macy's boyfriend. They talked about separation. Suzanne wanted a separation. Macy even said, Mom, I think you need to get a restraining order. Separate, get a restraining order. Right. There's no way that she is alive. There's zero chance that she is alive. Betty Smith, yes. And like I said, okay, fine. Why they wanted to try and rule out certain things that the prosecution has, why Dateline would want to do that is beyond me to begin with. But they did it. Not once, not twice, 3 times. Okay? To cast bad light on Suzanne. They did it 3 times right at the end. That's the last thing that's going to stick in somebody's mind. Okay? They did it, and they knew what they were doing when they did it. Okay? So, yeah, smell like chlorine in the room. Yeah, he was above the pool. Okay, I'll buy that. I'll pay for that. Does not explain why there was wet towels everywhere. He didn't go swimming because the pool was closed due to COVID. So, why were the wet towels there? What were they used for? Why? We're back at why. We know who. We know where. They were found in that motel room by Barry. Barry was the only one in that motel room as per video. Why? We're left with why. Why were there wet towels? He didn't have a shower. He never said he had a shower. He said he had a shower at home. He said he worked all afternoon. Why? He didn't leave that motel room between just after noon and the time he got that call at 6:05 p.m. He said that he was working at the wall all afternoon. There's another lie. He never went to the wall in the afternoon. He briefly stopped there in the morning during his trash runs. He didn't have the equipment to work on the wall, couldn't work on the wall on a Sunday anyway, and had nobody there to help him work on the wall. Why? Here's another why. Why did Barry have to get out to Broomfield by himself? What was supposed to happen was he was supposed to go out on the Monday or Tuesday, and he was supposed to pick up his workers along the way to Broomfield. So we're back to why. Why did Barry have to go out there at 4 a.m. on a Sunday morning on a day that he could not work, could not get things set up? Why? And the city didn't even know that he was coming. He would have had to pull a permit. He would have had to let the city at least know, because I think it's on an off-ramp or something along them lines. To work on city property, they have to be aware that you're even coming, and they weren't. So many lies. Why? We're back to why. Why? Because there's a dead woman somewhere. Who? could have got rid of Suzanne? Who could have murdered Suzanne? Don't forget, you're under a stay-at-home order. People aren't going to be out just wandering around and driving down country roads and happening upon a dirt road that's a private road to boot. There's no way. No, they haven't. L.A. Anders, no, they haven't. They've all, the 48 hours one and the Dateline, all favor Barry. But it's what they did at the end. They cast all the doubt onto Barry doing this. They tried to explain away evidence. They threw out the pen. Oh, Suzanne, you bought a pen to try and catch your husband. Well, guess what? That pen, and this isn't their exact words, but they said she bought a spy pen to catch her husband cheating, and all it caught was her cheating. Just like that. You know what I mean? And it's like, wait a minute. Why are you trying to discredit things in favor of Barry? And to make a comment like that, well, Suzanne Morphew bought a spy pen to catch her husband cheating, and all it caught was her cheating. You got to remember what they say at the end of everything, because that's what's going to stick in the person's mind. They did good up until 3/4 of the way. It was like, oh, could have been, if I was an outsider looking in, ooh, yeah, it doesn't look good for the husband. But they made sure at the end that all doubt was cast. Trying to explain away all the evidence. Like it was sickening. Yes. She would have been in contact with with Jeff Libler or her sister or her best friend. For sure. She had no money. And even if they want to try and cast doubt, Suzanne took that $70,000 that's missing. No, I think I know where the $70,000 went. But anyway, you want to say that Suzanne took $70,000. How long can you live somewhere on $70,000 when you got to buy every single thing, including right down to your underwear again? Because you left with nothing. $70,000 wouldn't go far, believe me. I do believe that there was some kind of comment, but I'm not sure if it's true or not. It wasn't exactly what I know what you're asking here. I know that there was, before I comment on it, I want to look into it because I don't know if it's a rumor or if it was actually said. So, but I do believe that there was a comment made that if he was to kill somebody, he said, and I forget what it was that was apparently said, but I don't know if it's rumor or not. So I don't want to, I'm not going to make anything affirmative on that yet. I'm sure that there will be, Jean. I know that there's a freeze on accounts too, so. I think it's more than just the money. It was the fact that she was leaving him too. Nobody left Barry Morphew. Well, no, because she wasn't found. She wasn't left there. She was buried somewhere, put somewhere. But why he wanted to get out of there in the morning was before everybody else got up, because Lord help it if somebody seen him throw that bike down there. And if you guys don't remember, go right back to the beginning when I started talking about this. I said, if that bike was found, he threw it over there. And then it all came out about the bike being thrown over the side. I said it long before it ever was made public knowledge. He got the hell out of there early in the morning so he could toss the bike and the helmet without anybody seeing him. People are sleeping at that time of the morning. They're not out. And I mean, it's a pandemic too, so. Yeah, it is. It's disgusting. Georgina, now, I don't know this to be 100% fact, but I know what, there's been some stuff that I was sent, with that guy, with the boyfriend, that apparently she dumped him because he said what he said on camera to the police. Betrayed her trust or something like that by saying what he said, by telling them about the problems in the marriage and that Macy told him. Okay, can one of the mods take that comment out, please? Hang on a sec. I got to go back in because I can't even say it because it says, Georgina Amanda dates. Yes, Angel, I get a S relationship vibe from them. We can't be putting that in chat. Please, Georgina, please watch what you are putting in chat, please. We're not talking about other cases, so the OJ and Casey Anthony, please stop with that. And we cannot put the word that starts with S in the chat. Please be careful what you're putting in the chat. We can't talk about SA. We can talk about it, but you got to mask the words. We're not talking about any other cases. This is focused on Suzanne today. That's what I'm doing. Dateline and 48 Hours didn't do that. The focus was on, I think, trying to hurt the prosecution's case and stick up for Barry. Well, I ain't doing that. I'm here for Suzanne. So other cases, please do not mention them here. I mean, it's sad. I'm trying to find the comment. Hang on. You guys, if anybody spells out the word S, please get rid of it. I just got rid of it. It was a way back in chat because I'm on StreamYards. I'm behind in chat, so it's almost like Barry is the victim and not Suzanne. Exactly, and that's the vibe that I got, Betty. None of them were, Dana. Barry nor the girls were ever at the vigils. It also caught Barry listening to a true crime about a woman. Yes, Des, I did mention that a while back. Right? Right? Who does that? Oh, I'm going to keep the laces from my old boots. He's so full of BS, it's unreal. Yeah, I guess she took off on the bike in a bikini and barefoot. Yes, he was. You could see he was. He also didn't know what he should say and what he shouldn't say because he looks up at his dad and his dad says, like when they're standing in front of the garages at the Morphew home, he looks up at his dad and his dad says, "Hey, now's not the time. Tell the truth. Anything you know, tell the truth. Just anything. Tell the truth." So that's when he said about they were, yes, talking about separation and this and that. Like, I think he was scared. So I think he was told to shut his mouth about it and he didn't. Yeah, he had more grief showing than Barry, yes. Oh gosh, I don't remember what it was now, sis. Yes, Betty. It was something along those lines, but I don't know his exact words, so I didn't want to say it. But yes, I heard that Barry had said something to the effect that if he had killed somebody, they would never be found, or something along those lines. But I want to get the exact quote on it so I'm politically correct. Not being rude in any way, but I think it was best the relationship ended with me. So yeah, he could have been the next one going missing. Okay, so he told somebody he could bury, so never found. Um, Basically, what was said on that, it was a Forensic Files episode that he was listening to, and it was caught on the spy pen. And in that episode, it was about a woman that went out on a bike ride and never returned, never to be found or seen again. That's what he was listening to. So that's what was caught on the spy pen. I have no idea. I don't know. All I know is it was caught on the spy pen. Georgina, what? I'm behind in chat, so I think we've explained to you. Okay, yeah, and I see. Okay, okay. I don't think Barry has told his daughters. I think he's told his daughters a whole different story about, oh, she ran off with some guy and they're in Ecuador, and look at, she's been cheating on me now for 2 years, claiming that he didn't find out until the police brought it up to him. I think that's bullshit. I think, I just said that. Anyway, I think he found out about it and it peeved him off. And then her asking that she wanted the divorce or whatever just was the topping on the cake. So I think he's told the daughters that she just took off. Yes, I believe he's somebody else had mentioned him a while back, and I believe that he's doing well, but he's going to be called to testify. I don't think they're going to get back together, Betty. I believe Macy feels like he betrayed her. Yep, both portrayed him as a victim, and he's not. Oh, I'm sure he had a hand in that, but I do believe that Macy felt she was betrayed because he said some things that she had told him that he wasn't supposed to repeat. Yeah, it's the best thing that could have happened to him was getting away from them, that's for sure. He would have been the next one coming up missing. The jury selection starts, Jean, on April 28th. Yeah, very odd. A lot of things that he did were odd, Betty. Yeah, and he didn't necessarily keep the laces. That's just a story he told the police. Like, why are you carrying your boots around? Well, I wanted to throw them out. Well, those were probably the boots he had on when he did what he did to Suzanne, and he had to get rid of them. But, oh, I was carrying them around and everything else. They were all ripped and torn and whatever. I was going to toss them out, but I needed the laces. He probably brought the boots in to clean them off. At least clean the bulk of them off. So if they were ever found, it wouldn't be right noticeable that there was blood or anything on them. Yeah, an excuse for everything. Yeah. I agree. It is very sad. I have not heard of the beach towel being found either. Okay, so his former friend in the arrest affidavit said that if he was to bury somebody, they would never be found. Okay, Suzanne Thompson, we can't be mentioning. I don't even know who Suzanne Powell is. I'm just going through the comments, you guys. I'm going to reiterate again, you guys, we were talking about Suzanne and Suzanne only. The Suzanne Morphew case. This is to bring awareness to Suzanne. We're not talking about any other cases or comparing or anything else. So please do not do that. If you've already had your chat removed, your comment removed once, if it happens again, you're just going to be hidden from the channel. This is all about Suzanne. These two shows that have come out have basically put Suzanne on the back burner and tried to bash the victim and make her look like the bad one. And I'm not going to do that here. And I'm not going to compare other cases to hers because the focus right now is Suzanne, 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 Suzanne. There's only one person responsible for what happened to that beautiful woman going missing. And that's what we're focused on. Yeah, something along the lines. One of his friends, I remember now in the affidavit, had said that if he had buried, that Barry had said that if he had buried a body, it would never be found. I believe she's buried in that creek, under the creek bed. And I believe that's why he wanted to stay in the house next door on his bail at the Cushmans, right next door to his old Pumapath home, where everything happened, where he said he had to sell the house and get away. It's another thing. I had to sell that house and get away from there because the kids were traumatized. They wouldn't come to the house anymore because of what happened, and they were traumatized. I have to get away from that area. I got to sell the house. But when you get released on bond, that's where you go, right next door. And your kids came to visit you. I thought they were traumatized. I thought they wouldn't go near that house. You're only 100 yards from it. I thought they wouldn't go there because they were so traumatized by what happened to their mother there. That's why you had to sell that house, Barry. But you're released on bail, and guess where you go? Right next door. So you can keep an eye. I'm on to you. So you can keep an eye on where you have Suzanne. And your daughters couldn't be too traumatized because they'd be coming to visit you. 100 yards from where you guys owned the house. Right next door. I don't know how it works in the U.S., but I know here if one of your parents are murdered or whatever, you can get a survivor's benefit, as well as any life insurance you'd be entitled to. Oh, yeah. He definitely knew about the affair. I think he snuck up on her that day, like he did the time Sheila was there. And then came back with the truck, like pretending like he just arrived. Yep. It's sad. I'm not going to read that out loud, Lolo, but I agree with you. I wonder. Oh, thanks, Deb. Exactly. And I have a whole big issue with the bike being found, with the cop touching the bike without any gloves on and everything else. Who's to say the partial prints weren't that cop's? Right? Because we know there were cops that were there that were not wearing gloves, that touched things without wearing gloves inside the Morphew home, outside the Morphew home. Who's to say one of those cops didn't touch that Jeep, or not the Jeep, the Land Rover, whatever it is, Suzanne's vehicle? How do we know that partial print is not from one of those cops? Because it's only a partial. How do we know? Right? It's only a partial. A partial that they also hit on a partial in the database. It could be a family member of that cop's. It could be anybody. It could be anybody. Because we do know by their own videos that the police touch things without gloves on. Inside the Morphew home, outside the Morphew home, they touched the bike. What else did they touch? Yeah, when Barry said, "Oh, Suzanne," he gave himself away. Yes. I think I've been pretty clear on what I feel on this. Hello, Alicia. Yes, thank you. And thank you for the super stickers and whatnot. It does help the channel out a lot. So thank you for that too. The thumbs up are great. Oh, you're very welcome, Nana. I think he was scared of Barry. I think that's why he left. And Daz is saying, "Sorry, Alicia. I'm so sorry I accidentally deleted your comment saying hello to everyone." Well, I gave you a shout out, Alicia, and I put your comment. Where is it? There it is. Alicia, thank you. Hello to you too. Yes, please be careful, you guys, when you're deleting comments. Before you hit that button, make sure it's on the right one, please. Okay, so was it Cassidy Cordova that Barry said that he could tell him he could make sure a dead body would never be found? It was a recorded phone interview. Okay. I know it was said by somebody. So if it was Cassidy, yeah, I can see why Cassidy would be hightailing it out of there. I think he's afraid of Barry. There's nobody allowed in for jury selection. That's done behind closed doors because there's personal information on everybody that comes out. Me too, Lit. Me too. Oh, thank you, Petra. Thank you so much for that. Every little bit helps. I wasn't planning on going live, but oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Okay. Suzanne Thompson. I'm sorry, but we've been asked not to mention others in the chat, other cases or anything, and I see about 80 of your comments have had to be removed, so I'm sorry, but I cannot be answering the phone when I'm in the middle of a live. Yeah, Jules, a thought. Yes, the cop touched the light switches in the home. Barry also got to touch the drawers and everything, and Pepsi Girl, please don't mention other channels. Sure, the daughters handed the money right over to Barry via his insistence. Yeah, really. Okay, so Jean says, thank you, Willow. Thank you, ma'am. I live here in Fremont County where the trial was moved. I'm going to see the PIO to see if I can sit in the public forum. Give me your email. Okay, my email is aboveandbeyonancestor@outlook.com. aboveandbeyonancestor@outlook.com. You don't put the readings at the end. It's just aboveandbeyonancestor@outlook.com. That would be great if you could sit in there, Jean.
Hello?
I don't think so. Okay, I can't be doing this and doing my live at the same time. No. I've asked that people do not mention other channels or other cases in the chat. So don't ask people to do that, please, because you're going to get them hidden from the channel.
Hello?
Oh my God. Okay, stop. I can't do a live and answer messages on my phone. Okay, back to you guys. I'm sorry for that. Don't you think the cop touched the glove box? Well, I would think that somebody did. Now, can I say for sure that whoever the officers were that touched the glove box, did they all have gloves on? I don't know, but Jules, I thought that is a good comment. And it's like, we know that they touched the bike with no gloves. We know they touched things in the house with no gloves. What else did they touch with no gloves, right? And they would have touched the glove box to look inside to see what's inside. So it's like, makes us wonder, right? Yeah, a lot of botch ups. Yep. Oh my God, again. Okay, let me just see. I'm scrolling through you guys. I hope Alicia, I hope she's found too. Yeah, Jean says, well, it's right. It wasn't just about the money. No one leaves Barry. Like that was something big that he had said. Or people had said about Barry. Nobody leaves Barry. Barry's the one that does the leaving. Oh, I wouldn't have it any other way, Dana. Yeah. I think they're too proud or they're too naive to think that their dad's trying to control them. Does please stop asking for that stuff on here. Okay, what's this? Teresa says, I thought he said that to Morgan after she mentioned how fast a pig could eat a human. Oh. You believe he said that to Morgan too? Oh my God. Me too, Alicia. I hope she's found. Yeah, see there? It's not just about the money. No one leaves Barry. And there was a couple people, I think, that had said that about his character. Nobody leaves Barry. Am I the only one that thinks Barry buried Suzanne under the boulder and newly planted evergreen tree in the yard? I think it would have been already found. I do believe that she is under that creek bed. Yeah, really. Did somebody, because the people that bought their old house, the Puma Path home, they're not there all the time. So is it that Barry thinks that they're getting too close? So now that he's right next door, he could go and move her body again, right? Or have somebody do it. I wonder if they're watching. I wonder if they set up trail cams to watch what he does. Yes, they did, K-Mitch. But what they failed to say in the Dateline thing was last night was that Barry had turned left. The bike was found on the right and the helmet was found down the road on the left. Both areas which Barry pinged at. They forgot to mention that too. I feel like they could have put more in there to boast the prosecution instead of hindering them. Thank you for putting that up, Rosie. Yes, thank you. I don't know. Full circle. I don't know. I don't know. I'm on the fence about that. Yeah, Jean, in the body cam footage, when they found the bike, the cop grabs the bike and pulls it down the hill. It should have been left right where it was for the investigators, but the cop pulled it down, no gloves, no nothing on, drove it, well, pushed it with his hands along the creek up to the road, no gloves on. Yeah, I think we mentioned that a little bit earlier, Kim, that, yeah, as far as I know, it has not been found either. Yeah, but Judy, the thing is, it was only a partial print. It matched, like, it could match 100,000 other people whose fingerprints are on file. Because it's a partial. And when they put it into CODIS, the partial print they had matched a partial print they had in CODIS. It wasn't even a full print that it matched to. It matched to another partial print, not a full print. So it could match 100, 200, 300,000 different people for all we know, because it was a partial that matched a partial. I'd be interested to know that partial print that they got from the Morphew home and vehicle, the 300,000 partial matches that it matched in CODIS on partials, if any of those are law enforcement. Did that partially match any of the law enforcement prints? That's what I would be comparing it to. Every cop that was on that scene, I'd want to compare that partial print to their prints to rule them all out. We haven't seen them do that. They just said that they put it into CODIS, and that partial print that they had matched other partial prints. Not even full prints, partial prints. Yeah. Barry and his buddy were touching the bike, and the cops had to tell them to leave it alone, don't touch it. So if they didn't want anybody without gloves touching it, why were they touching it without gloves, right? Yeah, and that's law 101. If there's something that you got a missing person, you find the bike, you don't touch it unless you put gloves on, just in case. Yes, Diane, absolutely. Yeah, she even said that about the girls, that they were being manipulated. Yeah, I remember that. It was in the arrest affidavit. Yeah, I know. I'm way behind in chat, and I'm on StreamYards too, so I can't see on StreamYards what's been removed and what hasn't. So sorry about that. I'm trying to catch up, you guys. Yeah, she spent her whole life sacrificing. I have no idea, Tammy. It hasn't been mentioned anyway. Yeah, and there was a neighbor that heard that bobcat going on the Saturday. I thought it was the Friday night, Nana. I think it was the Friday night. Because the Saturday night is the night that he showed up when the police had found the bike. I believe it was the Friday night. Or was it Saturday night? I'm thinking it was the Friday night. And it was Sunday, sorry, that they found the bike. Mother's Day. So I think she said it was Friday night. I believe Suzanne went missing on the 9th, which is Saturday night. I would think that they would have checked everywhere where his truck pinged. Yeah, I believe it was the Friday night. She said she heard it going. They do have operating cameras, but just, I believe, at the door. Yeah. I remember that too, Malmac. Yeah, I do believe she's buried under that creek. Oh, Elizabeth, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Elizabeth Gregory says, with her $5 super sticker, thank you. I'm about 40 minutes behind, but thank you for all you do for sweet Suzanne. She deserves justice. Yes, that's why I'm saying, Elizabeth, today is just Suzanne. I don't want to hear about any other cases. I don't want to hear about other channels. Strictly Suzanne. So thank you so much for that. I appreciate you. Yep. Hey, Rosie's thanking you too. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, prayers for the Mormon family. I just can't imagine what they would be going through. And yes, K. Mitch, that's what I said. The bike never should have been moved until they found out what the heck was going on. Like, Suzanne's nowhere to be found, but there's her bike down a hill. She's nowhere to be found. The bike should never have been touched. You don't know if you got a crime scene or not. That's why you don't touch anything without gloves on. And I'm sure photos and everything should have been taken of the way that bike was found, because forensic investigators could have told if that bike was thrown just by the way it landed. If it just went off the side, there would have been skid marks down the side. If it was thrown, you can tell the place of impact. But now that the bike was moved and it was moved by a cop that had no gloves on, it's kind of, oh, I just can't. Yeah, matches mean nothing. It's the hit. And when you've got a partial match from the crime scene, and when you put it into CODIS, and it doesn't come up with a match or a hit, it only came up with a partial match. So you have a partial match from the crime scene that's matching a partial match in CODIS. Not even a match, a partial match that's in CODIS. It runs between Nan. It runs the creek that I'm saying where I think she's buried is at the bottom of those stairs out the back door of Barry. He has that big patio thing, and then he's got stairs going down to the creek. And that creek sits in between Barry Morphew's house that they owned, Suzanne and Barry owned, and the house where he is staying now, which is the Cushmans. That's where that creek runs, is in between his old house and where he's staying right now. Yep, and the bobcat blade was replaced. Yep. Okay, Carol, I hope somebody removed that. Let me just make sure, because somebody said the S word. Please do not say the S word or SA without masking it. Let me just see who. Carolyn Whitfield. It's been discussed on other channel, his S behavior and young girls. Please do not mention other channels or talk about other channels, and especially do not put the S behavior in full in chat. That's a good way to get my video taken down. I've asked that over and over, that it not be put in chat. Let me just scroll up. I got to make sure that that is gone. So sorry, you guys, for having to stop, but okay, thank you, Rosie, for getting rid of those. Thank you. We're not talking about other channels. We're not talking about any other cases. We're talking about Suzanne. Yeah, it was. It was sickening. And then how he says, when they were saying that they found the bike down the hill, he says, lion. And they said, yeah, it was laying down. He said, no, a mountain lion. It's like, wow. Yes, but it's to get on the property. The new owners will not let anybody on their property except for police. And the other property that butts up against it to get to that creek is the Cushmans. So Barry's friends, where he is staying right now. Yeah, and he acted more concerned about the bike than Suzanne, yeah. Barry is an evil one. Oh, wouldn't that be great, full circle? So Heartbreak she seems to had gone through a lot. Where's the love from her daughters? Yeah, Can I ask about covering any odor? Wasn't any. I never followed the case. If she's underneath that water in the creek bed, there wouldn't be an odor. There may be some now if they went down there with cadaver dogs again, because it tends to flow in the scent of a body or a decomposing body would eventually come up through the dirt that was put on top and into the water, and it would travel with the water. I think the police got the old blade. It's not a river. It's a little creek, Jean. It's a little creek. At that time of the year, there wouldn't have been much runoff running in that creek. It maybe would have been an inch of water running over the rocks. There's no saying that he could have blocked that, dug that hole, throw her in, put the dirt back, let the creek run back over top, and put the rocks back. It's not like the Arkansas River, nothing like it. It's a small little creek. I do believe that they have the old bobcat blade. Yes, I agree, Sammy. Yeah, anything's possible. That part of the little creek, if it's running on your property, you can stop people from going into that. It's like a little stream. It's not even a creek, you guys. It's a little stream. If you ran and jumped, you could probably jump over to the other side. It's a little creek. Oh, me too. Diane, me too. I finally caught up, you guys. Let a cadaver dog on the creek. Yeah, the thing with that, Nan, I think that when he buried her in there, he probably had her in something like plastic or something with maybe some lime. I don't know. I don't know what he would do, but there was mention of chemicals, so who knows? But if he put her in something, it could take some time before, like as her body is decomposing, for that to seep out of whatever he's put her in. If he put her in anything, even if he didn't, it would take some time for it to come up through that guck that would be on top of her in the creek bed to get up to the water, and then those odors would float in the water. So cadaver dogs, if they were brought, there's special trained cadaver dogs for that. If they were brought in, her scent could be traveling right down that river, right? Whichever way the water's flowing, her scent would carry on down. It would flow within the water. But there's a specialized dog that you need for that. But it would take some time for the decomposing body, for those scents to be able to get up through that muck that's in the water and then up to the water level itself. Santi says, Suzanne would not like to hear you talking about her daughters. Just saying. Well, I'm not so sure about that. But I'll take that. It is what it is. When you've got daughters that don't seem to care less about where their mother is, they haven't gone on one search, they haven't gone to one vigil. I think Suzanne would be kind of concerned right now, too. Don't forget, Suzanne sees everything and she knows everything. But your point has been taken. No, their home was out in the middle of nowhere. And it is around land owned by the government, but the houses that are around the Morphew home, there's two houses, one on each side. And one of those homes happens to be the Cushmans, which is friends of Barry, which is where he is staying right now while he's out on bond. I don't think he would have had time to do concrete, Nana. I've never heard about that, Gene. I can pull it up, you guys, if you want. Let me know, and I will pull up the map of the area. Exactly, Carol. So would I. God knows all, and he sees all. Yes, and so does Suzanne. They're really not that far from each other, 100 yards, like the length of a football field. If you guys want, I will pull up the aerial view of it so you guys can see it if you want. Let me know in the chat if you want me to do that. Let me know in the chat, you guys, if you want me to pull up the aerial view. Okay, you want me to pull it up? Okay, give me a second, you guys. It'll take me a second to pull this up. And I will show you all. Okay. Let me share my screen with you guys. Okay, so here's the map of the area. Okay, now let me just find this. Hang on, there's Foosa's Dam. Now, Foosa's Dam, this body of water has all been searched. There's the Morphew home right here. I believe that's it. I believe that's it right there. Let me just check over here. Hang on. Wait a minute. No, this is it here. Right here. This is the Morphew home right here. So this is the Morphew home. This is the garage. This is out here where Suzanne was sunbathing. This is the stairway that Barry built down towards the little creek. Here's the little creek. So South Arkansas River, but it's not. It's like a creek. I don't know if I can, like, you can see the rocks, like how the water, it's hard, maybe 3D here. No. It's not very deep. You can see right here how wide it is. And you can see that, like, there's a dam kind of here, made probably by gophers. But it's not wide at all. Like, if you ran across here and jumped, you could probably get to the other side here. And as you can see here, this is all rocks, you guys, that are sticking out of the water. So the water here is not that deep at all. So he could dam this up to stop the water, or here, dam it up so he could dig here, bury her in there, put the dirt back on it, put the rocks back, and the water flow right over top. And this is where I think she is buried. This is all Barry's land here, up to here, I believe. This is all the Ritters. Or this is the Ritters, this is the Cushmans. So you see how all this land is privately owned. So anything between the privately owned land, yeah, you can see it here. It's not deep at all. See how you can see it? The water here hitting the rocks because the rocks are out of the water. It's not deep. And you could probably jump across that. I believe, I could be wrong, you guys, but I believe this is the Cushmans and this is the Ritters. No, I'm Jules of Thought. I live in Canada. I have no idea where George Davis lives. But this is how close they actually are. Like people are thinking that the Morphew house is way out here somewhere, so far away. It's not. They're actually pretty close. Maybe a football field between here and here, not even. And I believe she's in the creek right here somewhere along here. In between his buddy's place, and this is all privately owned. All this property here up to here is all privately owned. The Rittmans own this parcel here. The Cushmans, where Barry is living, owned down like this, and then Barry owned all this. So because that creek is on private property here that runs through their properties, it is private. You could go into the creek up to here and probably nobody would say anything, or on this side or over here or down here. But this is all within private land. So to even get to this point, you would have to cross onto private owned property to get to it. So I believe that that's why Barry wanted to stay. This is their old house right here. And that's why he chose to come out here to stay there on bond. But this area here isn't that wide. You can see here where you can see the rocks in the water. And then here you can see where it's all rocky here. So the water trickles by here. And then it looks like it could be a little deeper here. It's hard to see on this map, but it looks like there was a dam or something built. It looks like all kinds of trees here. And then the water's trickling out again on the other side. But you can see it's not really that wide. It does get wider if you want to go down here to this area here. Where is it? Here we go here. See what I mean by there's little bodies here? This is the little creek right here. Look at, you can see the bottom in some places where the water's coming through. Okay. And then it gets to this point here. And then there's a dam. And this one here is a lot deeper. The South Arkansas River here. You can see there's a dam here. Then it gets wider and deeper down here. But then again, you can see it withering out. It gets like, you can see it here. You can see the rock again here where the water's hitting the rock. So it's deep in some places and shallow in others. And you can see it again here. It kind of falls down. You can see it hitting rocks here. But I do know that the Arkansas River does open up pretty big. But in this area here, sorry, you guys, I'm not looking at chat. I'm trying to, so I don't lose my place on the map. It is fairly shallow here. Yeah, this is the Morphew home right here. This is the Morphew home. This is over here is the Cushman, and this is the Ritter. It depends on what time of the year. Yeah, and where the bike was found, okay, was down here. This here part of the river is very wide, and it's a lot deeper. This is where the bike was found, was right down here. This part is a lot faster running, but see how all the trees and logs here that are in the water slows it down. See how thin it gets here? You could jump across there. It's not very wide here. There are parts where it does open up wide, but there's a lot of parts where, like I said, when the trees, you can see here, where the fallen trees and everything get into the water, kind of builds dams. So it slows the flow of the water. You can see here where it's actually hitting on rocks because it's so shallow here. And then it gets even thinner here. I've got the better upgraded map. It's just, I can't figure out how to, I keep losing my spot. You can see where it's hitting rocks, and all these fallen trees get into there and block it and slow it down. But when it opens up, see, you can see it again here, how it slows it right down because there's all kinds of debris. You can see the rocks and everything here. It opens up about a bit here. It gets wider here. So it's probably a little deeper here. But as it thins out again, you can see it's hitting the rocks. And like I said, here it's not very wide at all. It does open up again down here, widen. But through here, it's pretty thin. See this here? There was another area. I don't know if you can see it on here. There's another area here. Let me see if I can turn it. There was another area. This one isn't updated. Okay, so this is the main driveway coming in. There was another, you can kind of see it here. See where all this junk kind of is in this area here? There are tracks. It's like a beaten up dirt path almost that looked like the bobcat had been in, because this right here, I'm going to show you. This is where he had the trailer parked with the bobcat off of it. And there was dirt tracks coming from out of the dirt here over to here where the bobcat, this was, okay, don't forget, he came home with the bobcat on a trailer. So when he comes home, Suzanne's sunbathing, he comes home, he comes around, he drops the trailer here, leaves the bobcat here on the trailer, drives his truck, just his truck around here, over here. Okay? Now, why was the bobcat? He doesn't say he did any work with that bobcat that night when he got home, when Suzanne was out here sunbathing. But the next day, when the police show up to look around here, the bobcat is off the trailer and there are bobcat marks here in the dirt. Right? And you can see it ends right where the bobcat is. And the bobcat is off the trailer. Why was the bobcat? Remember the why? Why was that bobcat taken off the trailer? And why did Barry not mention taking the bobcat off the trailer when he got home and Suzanne was sunbathing? Because that's the night that I believe she was murdered, is the 9th. So when he came home with that on the 9th, she's sunbathing. He parks the trailer here with the bobcat. He takes his truck, drops the trailer, takes his truck over here. Why is the bobcat found the next day off there, off the trailer, and marks coming out of this dirt? And you could clearly see the marks from the bobcat to where the bobcat is right here. And the bobcat had gone down in here. There's pictures of it, you guys. It's not showing here because I don't know when this photo was taken. But this is where he parked the trailer with the bobcat on it. Why was the bobcat taken off the trailer, and why are there marks going into the dirt, back in and out of the dirt here with the bobcat? Did he come down here with the bobcat? There's already a trail there. So is she in this area where it's thinned out and down in here? He could very easily go in that little creek, depending on how deep it is. If it's only a couple inches deep, he could go right in the creek with the bobcat. Right? So that's where they live. This is where he's staying right now while he's out on bail. And this is the area that I believe that he put her in. And it makes sense. He can keep an eye still. Right? Diane, Danny, sorry, I very much doubt it. I believe that the defense are the ones that set up this fake hacking and everything because they don't want it televised. They don't want all the information getting out to people and people finding out, look at, this is what they have. They don't want the general public being able to see everything and hear everything that's going on in that courtroom. So there it is, you guys. So it's going to be interesting. We've been on for about 2.5 hours. I should let you guys all get back to what you were doing, but I wanted to bring this to you. I just feel that it was an injustice. The beginning of it seemed pretty good, even though there was a few things there that I wasn't keen on, but I mean, it's part of the evidence. But how they blatantly almost shifted it, like at the end, like it's Suzanne's fault. You know what I mean? Suzanne got that spy pen to catch her husband cheating. And here's the bombshell. It's Suzanne that was cheating and it caught her. Like, it's just stuff like that, the extra that they did at the end there, trying to shift blame. It's just sickening, you guys. So with that being said, I'm going to get it wrapped up. Sorry if anybody sent any super chats or stickers or whatever. I'm sorry. I was paying attention to the map, but thank you if you did. I'm trying to scroll up. I can only scroll up so far. This is as far as I can scroll up. I think in my opinion, he broke her down, 100-pound body, mixed her up. Quick reads, probably used the cores. We don't know, right? Yeah, and I did see that, Kat, that they had the yellow tape around the bobcat. Yep, they haven't said one word about her. They didn't go to any of the vigils. They didn't search, nothing. They haven't, like, we miss our mom, nothing. But Mallory got up and stood and spoke for her father in court. Please, Your Honor, we love him. We miss him. We can't see him as often as we need to. Please allow him to come to Govelson to come and see us, or Gunninson, or whatever it is. She got up in court and spoke for her dad. I've never seen her once speak for her mother. I've never seen her once. Please, if you know anything, bring my mother home. If you have her, let her go. If she is been murdered, please just let us know somehow where we can find. Nothing. Nothing. I'll leave that right there. Rosie, 7:05 a.m. Sunday morning here. Uh-oh, you better hurry. we'll be live. It's 7:00 a.m. Sunday morning. It's 7, 8, 9. We'll be live in 4.5 hours. I'm just joking. 11:30 a.m. every Sunday Eastern time. We are live with the mini reads. Live with the mini reads for you guys. So that's tomorrow morning, 11:30 a.m. Eastern. You are very welcome, Betty. You are very welcome, Nana. God bless you too. Yeah, I think Cruella, 99.9% of us will. There's that 1%, right? Yeah, horrible human. Thank you, Rosie. I don't think the trial will be televised. I'm hoping it may be, but I doubt it. Thank you, my sister. Thank you. I love you to the moon and back. Well, thank you. And thank you, Des, for everything that you do. And every mod in here, thank you so much. You guys work tirelessly. I want you to know I appreciate you guys. I got the best mods anywhere, and I got the best subscribers anywhere. So thank you, sister, for that. I appreciate it. Man. Yeah, just over 24 hours. No. Oh, in 24. No. Go to sleep, Rosie. You need some sleep. We'll see you tomorrow morning, our time. Yeah, she did. She loved her daughters more than life itself. So that's what tears at my heart, seeing how they're treating her being gone. I don't know if Court TV will follow it. It will be nice, but I don't know, Kat. I hope they fight for it. They televised the Scott Peterson. It was a big case. I hope they do televise this one too. Yes, thank you all for being with us. Much love and respect. Thank you. We love and appreciate you more. I love and appreciate each and every one of you too. So thank you for that. Firebee, thank you, Will, for the great life. Thank you for showing my. Yeah, I figured that it'd be easier to describe that way. I'm not good at describing things like that. You're very welcome, everybody. So you guys go rest up. I will see you guys. Yeah, that judge. Don't even get me started, Carol, on this judge. I believe that the judge has already ruled on all the stuff before the trial starts. So we'll see. Okay, so with that being said, you guys, I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you for spending your time with us. Thank you for all your insight and your fabulous comments. I do appreciate them. And thank you for us all making this about Suzanne. This was for Suzanne. Between 48 Hours and Dateline, I feel like they are pro-Barry, and I wanted to do something and call them out. I've called them out because the way that they portrayed things is pro-Barry, and I'm disgusted by it. So I wanted to go pro-Suzanne. I wanted to be here for Suzanne. So, Suzanne, this was for you. We love you. We will not stop until we have answers, and we are on your side. Okay, so until the next time, you guys, please take care of yourselves. Please stay safe. Love you to the moon and back. Bye-bye for now.